Hey guys, Mr. Thibodeau here. So we're going to go ahead and do lesson 25, dividing fractions. So the important thing to know here and to remember, when we did multiplying fractions, okay, that is essentially division, okay? So if I have 25 and I'm timesing it by 1/5, normally multiplication is bigger, right? If I do 25 times 1, that is the same as just saying 25. If I do 25 times 2, that's essentially the same as saying as there's two 25s, which equals 50, right? Now, if I say that there's only a fifth of this 25, okay, it's not even a whole one, then my multiplication is saying that I have less than a full 25. I have 1/5 less, which is the same as 25 over 1 times 1 over 5, which turns into 25 over 5, which is the same as saying 25 divided by 5, which equals 5. Okay? So 25, a number times a fraction is actually a division. Now let's go ahead and write that down. A number times a fraction is actually, how do I spell actually? Division. Okay. So if multiplying a number by a fraction is actually division, then what's going to be dividing a fraction going to be? Well, we're going to see that pretty easily here, that if we're looking in this case, how many times is 1/4, okay, a quarter, in 3, we're going to find we're going to get a much bigger number than 3, right? So we're ultimately going to be multiplying 3 times 4, which will give us 12. So when we flip over here, okay, multiply 3 by 4 to answer the first question, all right? So when you are multiplying fractions this way, one, if you are dealing with a mixed number, you're going to want to turn it into a full number, into a improper fraction, okay? That's going to allow us, this is going to be a little bit more helpful for us. So turn any mixed numbers like 3 2/3 into an improper fraction. So 3 2/3 turns into 3 times 3 is 9, 10, 11, 11/3. Okay, these are the exact same numbers, but it's going to be a little easier to work with if it's all in fraction form. Okay, then from here you can multiply. So, so in this question is how many 2/3 are in 3? So 3 divided by 2/3. That one you'd go ahead and was it 6? Was the let's see, what are they doing with the answers here? You can see from the manipulatives that the answer is more than 1 but less than 2. Think of 2 pieces. Less than 2. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm looking at their question right. They're thus 3 halves. Okay. Okay. So 3 times, in this case, 3 times 3 over 2 is going to give us our answer. First we multiply 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. So whatever if we're trying to figure out in this particular example, 3 2/3, let's say we're trying to figure out how many 2/3 there are in here. We would go ahead and so if we were dividing by 2/3, we would really multiply by 3/2. Okay, and that's going to give us 11 times 3 is 33. 3 times 2 is 6. And now we just divide through. 6 goes into it. 5 and 3, 6 left over, which turns into 5 and a half times. Okay, so this would have been the math for 3 2/3 divided by 2/3. So it goes in 5 and a half times. Okay. For B, how many 2/3 are there in 3? 3 divided by 2/3. We use the math 3 times 3/2. Okay, so reciprocal. Okay, so flip it. So if I was going to write this out for you, I'd say find reciprocal, then multiply. Okay, so if you were taking a number 62 divided by 4/8, you would go ahead and you would find you would want to first turn that into 1/2, and then you do 62 times 2/1. Okay. Yeah, and that's what you do. So first you find the reciprocal, and then you multiply. Okay. I think that's all you need to know for this. For the written practice, let's do the written practice 1 through 10, and then 16 through 25. And that's it. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good one.